Hi everyone, I'm Simon from Sterling Coaching, and I'm following on today in this video on the theme of getting that momentum, getting that a new version of you throughout January, which, as we know, is something that we always strive for at the beginning of the year. 1st of January, New Year's resolutions, but then it dwindles for many of us as we go through the month of January. And today I just want to talk about how we can get that motivation to stick and to build. See you in a moment. Now, for me, I find it easy to actually set those goals, those objectives, those New Year's resolutions. And I've also found it easy this January to consider what a new version of me needs to be in order to achieve those. What skills, what lessons do I need to learn? Who do I need to become? But the one thing I want to talk about today is something that I personally really struggle with, and that's motivation. I get very distracted by other shiny things, but I also get very, very disillusioned if I don't get what I want quickly. And one of my New Year's resolutions was to learn to ice skate, but I'm not booking that until February, until the whole sort of winter season rush has gone out with things like that. So holding that motivation until January is really, really hard for me. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. And before I go on to the general slides, I want to talk about this book. Now, Brendon Burchard is one of my favorite authors. I'd love to have you, Brendon, on my next podcast. And I love his book, Life's Golden Ticket. It's one of my all-time great books for really getting that motivation and understanding the parable of why we do what we do and getting motivated and seeing that life is about so much more. But following on from that, I got this copy of the Motivation Manifesto. And as it says here, 9 declarations to claim your personal power. And this, for me, is about getting motivated. It's about reclaiming our lives. It's about finding our personal freedom. And it's about giving me the reasons to do what I want to do. And as we start the best year yet of 2025, it's very easy for us to get out of the starting blocks really quickly. But if we don't look at our motivation, that really long road that you can see ahead of you in this image here starts to get very tiresome. It starts to get very bland. It starts to get distracted by the shiny things that you're thinking about, that you might be working on. So we've really got to look at how we keep ourselves on track on this road. How do we keep ourselves on the route to that destination? Because it's great having that start, but for me, that's a great image for me in the middle there. Getting out of bed, getting up when the alarm goes off. That was really hard this morning. That is really a challenge for me. Getting that motivation, getting that energy directed. Once I get going, it's great. But I've got to find something that gets me motivated so that I end up like the guy who's below me there, who's at the finish line, loving every moment of the day. That's what today's video is about. What do you need to do to get motivated? And that's really, really important. So I want you to think about this book, The Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard, and any of his other books, and any other resource that you can have that will help you stay motivated. That's really, really important. In my book, The Making Most of Next Year, or Making the Most of This Year, sorry, in that book, there are some great tools, the Wheel of Life, and it's really about feeling it, connecting to the emotional side of what the year is going to look like, so that when we look at that long journey that's to come, what we can do is we can break it down into our reasons for doing it, our emotional connection with it, the consequences of not doing it. So we need to find things that help us stay on track. We need to find things that really keep us going in the month and the year ahead. And January is really, really hard to do that. I think it's one of the hardest months that I find to keep that motivation going. So think about that during the week ahead. Find the tools, find the resources, find the things that you can do, the things that you can read, the accountability that you can get from perhaps your coach or your advisor, your peers, your friends. What can you do to increase the motivation? And let's give that next week that theme of motivation manifesto. What are we going to promise ourselves to be motivated by, towards, and what tools are we going to use to keep ourselves motivated in the week ahead? And of course, if you want to grab a copy of that book, Making the Most of a Year, just send me a direct message wherever you're watching this video. Make sure you tag me in it so I get to see it, and I'll send you a copy of that. It's now time to ask for that usual thing: like, follow, share. I'm not going to dwell on that too much, but if you know somebody who would really value watching these videos every week, then please send it to them, share it with them. That's the best service that you can do for me and for them as well. And of course, nothing now remains but to leave you with the rest of the week. Grab a session with me if you want. The link's been going across for all of this video. But think about that workbook and think about, most importantly, getting motivated in the week ahead. Bye for now.